Welcome to an episode of Jay Leno's Garage. The vehicle we're featuring today, 1948 Ford F6. This is what I call my street grab series. You know, one day we were shooting out at the Circle G Ranch. This is one of those great movie ranches. You've seen it in a million TV shows. You know, it's the real thing. They do weddings. People use it for all kinds of theme events, and it's a very cool place to go. But it gets mostly used, you know, for movie sets. And this was, I just thought it was a prop, and I thought, what a cool thing. Oh, does it run? It turns out it belongs to the owner, Brett Gregory. Brett, come on in.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, thanks for doing this. We appreciate it.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, because it fit right into the movie ranch, you know. It's sort of patinaed out a little bit, look a little rusty. You don't have to do a lot of polishing on this, you know. And what are we looking at here? Chevy motor?
Chevy 350.
Right.
4-bolt main.
Right.
It's a roller motor.
Right.
And it's got a YN671 blower.
Okay.
So it'll get up and go.
Yeah, it must move pretty good, doesn't it? So it looks like, well, obviously the roof has been chopped, right?
5 inches.
5 inches on the roof. That's a standard chassis length.
It's a standard chassis, but it's been pretty heavily modified. If you look at the front end here, the front axle's been brought up about 2 feet.
Okay.
On the stock configuration, that would be sitting somewhere under the engine.
Right.
Also, cab back, there's been some chassis work to bring it down a little bit to get the stance and to accept the different differential we put in there.
Well, it's very cool because it has that, is rat rod an insult? Or I think that's a legitimate term, isn't it?
This vehicle checks off 3 boxes for me. As car guys, we all have our own checks.
Right.
What we want to do before we leave.
Right.
One was to build a rat rod.
Right.
Another one was to have a vintage tow truck. And the third thing was to have a blower motor in something. So I checked 3 boxes. I thought this was the perfect.
Wow. So you're ready to die. Leave this with me and I'll take care of it. You pretty much accomplished everything. Hey, great, good seeing him. Huh? Listen, I'm going to park this right over there. No, I think it's kind of cool because it looks authentic. You know, so many of these kind of things, they look fake. It's something about it. But this, I mean, it looks, there's a lot of 1948 still here, isn't it?
There is.
The hood, doors. Did you have to? You have to chop the doors as well?
No. Well, we chopped the doors to fit with the
Right.
5-inch chop on the hood. So it's had some custom work done to it.
Well, is this the normal opening for the window? No.
I don't think so. That's got to be chopped as well. When you bring the roof down, you got to chop those as well. The glass needs to be chopped. You know, if you look at this truck, it's probably got parts from pretty much every major American manufacturer. We've got Dodge Motorhome wheels, 19.5s in the front, 20s in the rear.
Right.
Dodge Motorhome Dana rear end.
Right.
Chevy drivetrain in a Ford truck. I've got Pontiac 50 running lights in the rear.
Gotta have that.
Yeah.
No, I think it's great, and it must be a lot of fun when you go to car shows, because this is what people go crazy for.
They really do. I've been fortunate to have a few collector cars in my day, and I will say this is one of 2 that I've had that just really makes people smile. They want to come up, they want to talk about it, they follow me on the street, the cameras come out, so it's very, very unique. You
know, it's fun for me when people come here to the garage from other countries, especially from Germany, where you can't modify, you can't change this door handle. Oh no, that's it. And when they see stuff, they go, how could you drive such a vehicle on the street? It's not possible. You're breaking all the rules, you know. I mean, it's so funny. Do you get a lot of Germans come to your ranch? Because they love to shoot guns and wear cowboy hats, don't they?
Not yet. Not yet. I did have a tour bus full of Germans call to want to come by and tour, and I just couldn't make it happen.
Right.
So,
oh, that's too bad. But they're certainly welcome.
Yeah, everybody's welcome.
Yeah.
Everybody's welcome.
And you do weddings and parties and all that?
We do, and we've been concentrating mostly on production, music videos, television, movies, and it's just been a wonderful thing.
If they go to your website, can they see videos of the ranch?
Absolutely.
Oh, give us the website.
CircleGMovieRanch.com.
CircleGMovieRanch.com.
Yes.
CircleGMovieRanch.com. Okay,
Thank you.
let's get back to the car. So you've kept the stock brakes out of safety reasons. It'd be silly to put discs on something like this since it goes 150 miles an hour. Okay, so you got the stock brakes. I love the rusted alternator just hanging down there.
You like that?
Now, is that from driving it got patinaed that way, or is it?
Actually, when this was first built, everything was pretty much new, but we wanted to make it look old. And it's amazing what a Hudson sprayer and a 50-50 solution of muriatic acid and water can do.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So, also, Larry Mason, a very talented hot rodder builder, is the gentleman that I met at a car show, and I saw his F6 that he had done a lot of what you see here.
Right.
And I said, I have got to have one of these, and asked him to build me a rolling chassis so I could finish it up my way.
Yeah, because it looks like you patina it, and is this a clear over it?
He patinaed it.
Yeah.
He put some color on it.
Yeah.
And then he put a very light clear.
Right.
And then over the years, I've had this now for 10, 12 years, it just ages naturally as well. So
right, as we all do. Yeah. Does this hood open?
It certainly does.
Oh, let's see. Oh man, that's tough working to get in there, isn't it? Well, look at that. That is hilarious. 2 huge 4-barrels. Those Hollies on the end. 2 big Hollies.
Holly double pumpers, 750s.
And what kind of gas mileage you get? It must be ridiculous.
About 3 to 4 miles to the gallon if you're in it.
Right.
But it's good. Gas is cheap.
Yeah, gas is cheap. I don't know where you grew up, but okay. So what are you getting for? What do you think you're getting for horsepower on this?
Well, it's detuned right now.
Right.
Because to be perfectly honest, you don't want to go much faster than we're going to go.
Right.
It's running about 8-9 pounds of boost, so we have the larger pulleys on it.
Gotcha.
And running 91. If you go with the race fuel, the 114, and put the smaller pulleys on there, it's capable of 18 pounds of boost.
Wow. Okay.
So now it's running in the 4s, maybe 450, and it's capable of somewhere in the 6s if we do a little work to it.
Wow. Now what transmission are you running?
Turbo 400.
Oh, it is, okay.
But it has a reverse manual valve body.
Okay.
So manual, so you can control your shift points, and then reverse, it's opposite of what you would think when you put it into what would be drive. You're in first, knock it down a notch for second, and then the same for third.
Right.
Then when you come to a stop, you just reverse it.
Okay. Well, that won't cause any accident, huh? Which way does this go now? Okay. Period tires?
They are the old...
From the Jurassic period, I think these tires are from. Yeah, it's
I went to my tire guy, and we were going to go with maybe radials.
Right.
And he said, absolutely not. He said, this truck is cool. You need to go with the bias ply, give it the look.
Right.
And you do sacrifice a little bit of the comfort on the ride.
Right, right.
But it's...
Well, you know, it looks great. I mean, it looks authentic, and that's what it, because it is authentic. There's nothing fake about it. I mean, you've left it outside for 12 years, and it looks like this. I mean as a compliment.
It is a compliment.
Because I mean, so many that it just looks like fake patina, but this doesn't. This looks all real, and with that big blower on there is hilarious. Oh.
It's got 42 Chevy fender mount headlights.
Okay.
You can see where the fenders used to be.
Yeah.
If you look at the running boards, he swapped right to left and left to right, and then he flipped them around. You can see on the rear where the front fenders used to come into.
Oh, I see.
So he did certain things like this that just made it look really cool, in my opinion. I loved the work that he did.
Right.
Fell in love with it and just said I had to have one.
No, it's great. Is there glass in here?
There is glass.
Oh, okay. It does. Okay.
So the roll-up windows work. On the interior, I wanted a nice stereo system. I don't know why, because you can't really hear it, but it's got a backup camera because your visibility is not great.
Right.
If you turn on the CB, it has a drop panel that grill drops down to reveal the stereo in the back.
Oh, that's great.
So, yeah.
And the backup camera's a brownie, so it just fits up in the window. No, it really looks good. I like the period brass fire extinguisher.
Those, I met a contractor, and he had done the remodel on the Van Nuys Courthouse. And he had taken those when he did the remodel. So I had purchased a couple of those. I just think they're beautiful.
Now you'll get a call. Hey, we own the courthouse. Where's that guy that stole our... Yeah. Stock, well, it's a modern radiator.
It's a modern radiator. It's a 4-row. I had it specially built. It keeps it cool. It's just been actually no problems. You know, you would think putting a bunch of parts together that didn't go originally, it runs well, and I think everything flows. A lot of times when you try to build a rat rod and you take a lot of different parts off of things and you put them together, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, no, this works good, because when I first saw this up at the ramp, I didn't look at it, I just knew it was an old truck, you know. I remember saying to you, hey, you might want to grease those joints there, because it's just rust. There's nothing, you know. It just made me laugh. And then I realized, oh my God, look at that blower mode. I go, okay, this is not what I thought. So yeah, I love it. I think it's great. And so did you have help in building this? Besides, you mentioned some people.
Yes, I did. Larry Mason from Pismo Beach area is the one that built the rolling chassis.
Okay.
And did some of the custom work on the body and the chassis. Then it went to a very good friend of mine, Ed West from Lake Los Angeles. And this was one of my favorite parts of the build. Got it in his backyard, and I would go up to his backyard on the weekends, and I would sit there for hours and tell him my vision. And he's the type of guy that would, for instance, the boom.
Right.
I would show him what I wanted, describe it to him, and he would think about it for a second, and he'd walk over to his scrap pile, and he picked up a 6-foot fence post. And he doesn't have all the fancy benders and brakes.
Right.
He walked over to the dualies, stuck it in there, and just kind of bent it, looked at it, bent it a little more, and pretty soon I have the tow truck boom.
Yeah, that's great.
And it's the way he works, just taking scrap and turning it into something that I consider.
So when you got it, was it running?
No, he made it run.
Okay, what engine? Was the stock engine in it?
Stock engine. It was the 239.
That's a six-cylinder.
Flathead V8 is what came in this one.
Oh, it did have the V8.
The
okay.
6-cylinder was the option as well.
Oh, the 239. That's the old Mercury motor, isn't it? Yeah.
I think they called it the 100-horse motor,
Yeah,
if I
that's
remember
right. Yeah,
correctly.
yeah. Well, that was a powerful motor back in the day.
A lot of torque.
Yeah.
A lot of torque with the 4-speed trans. So.
Oh, I see. So I thought you bought it. So it's all your vision putting the thing together.
It is. If you look at the name on the door, this started out on a ranch up north, and I believe it was pulled out of a field where it sat for many years. Larry took it. He worked his magic on it.
Yeah.
And then I took it up to Ed, and Ed started with the drivetrain. This drivetrain came out of a Race Vega that he had.
A Race Vega. There's two words that don't go together. Well, it's great.
Yeah.
It's interesting. And these bolts, when was the last time you tried to break those free? Are they? I guess it's just patina to look like that.
Actually, one of these was going low the other day, and the tire shop had no problem.
No, there you go.
They're a far cry better than what came on the truck.
Right. Now, do you have tubes in here?
They do.
Yeah, I was going to say.
They do.
Okay, but yeah, it just looks great. It looks great. So you put these on. These were not there.
Larry put those on.
Right.
He did.
What's your rear end ratio? Do you know?
I don't know the ratio, but I drove to Riverside,
right.
And that rear end is a Dana. It came out of an early '70s Dodge motorhome.
Oh, okay.
As did the wheels, are Dodge motorhome wheels, and I actually got those from. You're familiar with Gene Winfield, one of the greatest customizers of all time.
Yeah, Gene, he's the legendary. Yeah, we've done him on the show. We've had some of his cars here. Legendary customizer.
Great.
Yeah, and been doing it since day one. Goes back to the days of Ed Roth and all those guys, and he did all the kind of shows that at the first LA Roadster show and all that kind of, yeah, he's legendary guy, and there are books out about him actually. Yeah, he's a good guy.
He really is, and he was kind enough to donate some of these wheels to the project. So.
Well, very good. Can we? Well, let's come around the back. What else we got back here? Was this an actual bed from a truck, or did you cut this wood to make it look like this?
Actually, Larry did the frame, so it just came with an open frame.
Right.
And when Ed took the truck, he actually bent all the tube, probably with the dualies.
Right.
And he created the wood bed and the boom. And then I went out and found the fire extinguishers. That's a 1970 Titan utility light up top.
I thought that was a 1970 Titan utility light. I don't even know what that's from.
You know, it's actually at the bottom. It was threaded to be on a shaft, so it was probably in some factory somewhere.
Right,
I just love the way it looked. It had a lot of detail on the base. It's not just a metal flat band.
And are those just brake lights, or are those turn signals as well?
Those are just running lights.
Just running lights.
And those are 1950 Pontiac tail lights.
Okay.
There's a backup camera between them, and actually the battery for the vehicle is located in the old Craftsman toolbox.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Underneath the gas can, it's hinged, and there's an old lock holding it, so you open it up and it drops down, and that's where the fuel cell is. So if you want to gas up, it's right back here.
This is the gas tank?
It is. It's got a fuel cell underneath.
All right, let's see how that works.
The old gas can is hinged.
Oh, I see. Oh,
so you unlock it,
fold
it down, and that's where you fill it up.
Oh, that's very cool. Look at that. Okay, so then there's your breather right there.
That's the breather.
Oh, that's funny.
Got an antique lock.
There you go.
Trying to keep everything the way it should look.
That's funny. Winchester. Oh, that's funny. That's great. Well, let's put that back. Here we go. Nobody's breaking into that. Nobody's be siphoning gas out of that baby. I'll tell you that right now. And what do we got? Oh, that's the electric motor cost for the winch. Okay.
It is. It is.
Okay.
And it's not a working winch, but it's just there for effect.
Yeah, no, it looks great. It looks great.
Thank you. Got early 40s Chevrolet taillights as well.
Okay.
A little bit of everything on the truck.
Yeah. Well, let's close the hood and take it for a ride.
Sounds great to me. You're good. You're good.
There you go. Oh yeah, you put a set of radials on this, it'll be like a sports car.
Yeah, you know, that's next. That's next. Definitely not built for comfort.
Not bad. It's not bad.
I classify it as not bad, not good. Just perfect.
Yeah. What about the grapes of wrath driving around in this thing?
I love it. Not exactly built for comfort, but it's built for smiles, that's for sure. I love rustic, I love antique.
Yeah.
It's amazing for a heavy truck how that steering box handles it with ease.
I know it.
You know, you wouldn't have expected it.
No. What does this one do?
That's, flip it up. That turns on all the lights on the dash because I like switches and I like lights.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't do anything.
Plenty of torque.
Oh yeah, you get the RPMs up in first and hit it second, it'll go. For a heavy truck.
Good thing you didn't order the optional heater.
Not needed. And if you want the air conditioning, there's a handle under the dash. You pull, that vent flips up, and that's the air.
Oh yeah, that works. You spin the wheel, it's like they're not even connected. You just.
Yeah, it all takes a little getting used to.
Yeah. I get used to it pretty quick.
Absolutely.
And the engine feels bulletproof.
And he built some great stuff. He really does. I'm lucky enough to have some very talented friends. I think we'll wear out before the truck does.
Wow. Runs nice and cool.
It runs great. You know, a lot of people ask why a Chevy engine in a Ford truck. And the thing about these rat rods is taking parts from different vehicles.
That's right. I say, why not? But actually, there's a history of Chevy engines in Ford parts
Yeah.
and Ford cars. Of course, Ford had the look, but in the day, Chevy had the engine, you know?
Uh-huh. Well, my buddy Ed had this one sitting around that he yanked out of a drag car.
Yeah.
And it was ready to put in it. It's using what you have to build something completely different. Yeah. This truck would probably make a good commercial for an auto parts store.
Oh,
with
yeah.
Parts from Pontiac, Dodge, and Ford, and Chevy.
You know, most modern cars, you go 100, you feel like you're going 60. And this one, you go 60, you feel like you're going 200.
That is true.
I love this.
Yeah, I use the old tin ceiling tile for the
Yeah.
headliner and the floor.
It looks great.
I always loved it. Always loved it. I've got the World War II compass for the GPS.
Yeah.
Well, you're handling this well, for sure.
Drives very nice.
Most people are scared to drive it.
No, I think you put some radials on it, you'll be fine.
That's next.
I mean, you will be amazed at the difference.
Yeah. That will be next. It would probably be a good thing to do it sooner rather than later,
Yeah.
judging from the cracks front end.
Right.
So I thought that a good way to make the truck flow and even it out was to put the tow rig, just to make it all look like it meshes, you know?
Right, right. No,
it had a very short bed on the back, so
Looks
everything
good.
else. And then using the Dodge motorhome wheels, I was told that this truck originally came with the split rims.
Yeah.
They call them Widowmakers.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Not the safest things in the world.
Is that a 3-speed or a 4-speed?
It's a 3-speed.
Oh, it is a 3, okay.
Yeah. Turbo 400.
Right, right.
Reverse manual valve body. Built to take some horsepower if it needs to. It's also a roller motor.
Yeah.
With a roller cam and lifters. And the lifters have rollers on the bottom, less friction, and it allows you to use a more radical cam design. So you get the best of both worlds. It's streetable when you want to cruise around, but when you want to step on it, you got more performance.
Yeah, and you're so undistressed in this application.
There you go. Is this one of the louder vehicles you've driven?
Not the loudest, but yeah, pretty loud. This is what people are driving on the last day of gasoline, you know? When it's all used up.
Oh, Mad Max.
It does look like a Mad Max.
Yeah.
Brett, thanks for bringing it over. It's a real treat.
You know what? This has been my pleasure. I've enjoyed our day together.
Oh, yeah,